Good afternoon, or I should say good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my BitChute and YouTube simulcast together. And I appreciate you guys for watching my videos these past several weeks, if not months. To those that have been concerned out there, and I wish you guys could at least thumbs up, subscribe, and share, comment after this video. Now, for my last video, specifically on my main channel on YouTube, as well as BitChute as well, I've been commenting as far as what's going on with the world these past several days, if not weeks, in a generalized sense. And I'm still generalizing to this day. Why not? After a few weeks or a few days at least. You know, Obviously, everyone knows who I am, or at least have an idea, or heard about me at least once in their lifetime on YouTube these past 10, almost 13 years on being on YouTube altogether. Maybe. I could be a nobody to most people. But to select people who are aware of what's going on with the supposed New World Order agenda, where it should be in quote unquote quotations, but it is an actual agenda by select people like the Paulsons, the Bushes, the Bernankes, the Greenspans, the Paul Volckers, Angela Merkel, who's the Prime Minister of Germany. You got Gordon Brown, who was the Prime Minister of UK. And we also got Tony Blair, Paul Wolfowitz, you name it. Any of these people, Donald Rumsfeld even, and especially George Bush and Obama. But Bill Clinton too. But we can include Trump in a sense, but he kind of redeems himself. So what am I trying to say, guys? What is the point of making all these videos, Charles? For the past several years, in recent time, for the last 3 years, you haven't been making as much serious related or advocacy style videos. It's just that I won't say I've given up. I'm just substandard. I am balancing out my options, and people may not know me. At the same time, people may not know me at all to begin with, and it's kind of sucks in a sense. You figure putting yourself out there, talking about the New World Order will be a dangerous thing, but no, it's not. In today's world, people don't give a damn. And that's what we have to understand as us stragglers in the midst of all of this conspiracy theories and stuff like that, and conspiracy theorists that we are supposed to be by the society at large. Now, yeah, we haven't lost. We definitely haven't lost. And based upon a fortune cookie I had the other year, I believe, it was something about saying that, don't you want the struggle, don't just maintain it, and stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm maintaining it. We still have our struggles as people every day, whether it's paying our bills, paying credit card bills, paying off the rent every month, or whatever. To some people out there, you know, obviously some of us live on rent free, but we still have other obligations, and we still have to work or find work, or we have some sort of income. Most of that's paid towards the credit cards we paid off that where we over expenditured. Me especially, you know, 5 years ago almost now. It's been 5 years since I've been on credit cards, and it's a good thing. You build credit gradually, but eventually, if you take out too much credit, then it's a little bit bad on your part. So this banking system, I have to say, under the New World Order agenda, it seems like a joke at first. Most people don't know what I talk about when it comes to the banks, because banks like Citibank, Wells Fargo, Merrill Lynch, JP Morgan Chase, those banks, those are considered to be zombified or zombie banks, quote unquote, by some of the economic experts out there like Mark Farber, Aaron Clarey, Peter Schiff, trends forecaster Gerald Salente. So, well, where do we go from here on out? Should we continue on with this advocation of the New World Order is out there? We must fight the evil, fight the good. Fight the evil, so keep the good. Stuff like that. It sucks. It's an anticlimactic feeling. All that research I did, all those readings of books I did when I was a kid, as early as 10 years old, reading newspapers as early as 14, 15, 16 years old about the Iraq War and stuff like that. You wonder to yourself, I think we're gonna have this big civil war or a big world war, and we do have a conflict as of this moment between China and Taiwan. But that's been going on for decades. As far as like on and off, there's a conflict here, conflict there between those two, and we United States people interfere, or we supply military equipment or military tactics or military material, both all the above, to Taiwan. But eventually, it's just your normal everyday scenario, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. This is what we call the measly man of existence. And I learned about this thanks to my English teacher. We read a book in class, as well as I read a book all on my own time, again called The Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. There was a play also, sometimes back in the 1940s, if not the 50s, and it also made a movie with Dustin Hoffman in the 1980s. I have a copy of that 1980s movie myself. Good movie. Maybe cheesy at first, but it's something. Dustin Hoffman, I heard, was a good actor back in the 70s and the 60s. Excuse me. I'm drinking my Diet Pepsi. So I'm living a good life, right? I'm sitting here with you guys. We have a good time with games. We hang around. We talk about games sometimes, or most of the time, as of late. And then when it comes to the serious conversations like the New World Order, the Illuminati, and the Great Reset, climate change, eat bugs, those stuff is still lingering about in the midst. And we still have the COVID-19 pandemic going on still. That's created a lockdown in some parts of the United States. And right here in New York City, it feels like a fucking prison. That's why you wonder why I'm acting so serious most of my videos, or not most of my videos, but the ones on my political channel, like that of the Bid Shoot, or the Dr. Gates 101, originally called Doctor of Ghetto channel for 3,000 subscribers. That's the one. That's one of those areas you see me talk about some serious stuff. So it's like after a while, you wonder to yourself, what should we do? When can you do it? It keeps lingering in your head after all these years of supposed action. As of 2012, 2013, the Department of Homeland Security created a backlog of ammunition transactions, meaning that it was about $1 billion worth of ammunition, or $1 billion ammunition altogether, like $1 billion bullets, to be produced sometime this decade, especially since the 2015 area. So it's backlog on that. I also tried to buy a gun myself. Yes, I did. Yeah, I tried to buy a couple of single action armies as a collector's edition, hang up on my wall, like see behind me one day. You never know, right? But the closest gun shop that I try to get my hands on these guns, they say that it's backlogged. Like they can't help me with getting copies of those guns. So that sucks. So what to do, right? You can't do much anymore. Now they just freeze everything. Right? Now it's just sporadic mass shootings. Government corrupts here, government corrupts there. Normal everyday life. Just la la la. And I think that's a good thing. I think we're living in peaceful times, and we should keep that peace, right? Don't need to go to war necessarily so quickly. But then again, it's 2035, 14 years away. Like I mentioned, predicted not China versus the United States in World War III. But then now Taiwan and China, it can be sooner, as this year or next year. So what to do, right? What can we do? Well, just pray. If you believe in your God, or if you believe in some sort of religion of God or whatever. Personally, me, I kind of turned my back on God for 10 years because I tried to be a part of it, not a trend, but be a part of a group that I felt belonged to. But after all these years, it's like I'm not getting nowhere with this unspirituality, or a call like that, because atheism means you don't believe in any God, and you don't believe in spirituality to begin with. You believe in self, and that's about it. And that self is very, very boring, very unfulfilling, no purpose. So I'm more of a mixed type of religious person. Like I'm probably think of Taoism here, or Confucian there, animism there, Shintoism there, and here, and Christianity. Well, Christianity is my main religion, obviously, by default. But I explore other practices, or not literally physically practicing the religion, but I like to agree upon the Hinduism of the karma, because karma can be a bitch sometimes. And the things I hear, whether it's in my personal life or out on the news cycles, like the news reports, don't you be like, wow, this is going on. And also you mentioned to the YouTubers over their drama and stuff like that. That can be karma as well. So things are happening in a good way, gradually but surely. And with Trump, as far as like one example, Trump himself, it sounds like he's running for president again in 2024. And he does run for 2024 and wins it. It's going to be worse than the 2020, the 2016 elections, because when Trump became president, everyone's acting all crazy and calling Trump a fucker and fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, like, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Donald Trump, dump the Trump. And I was like, damn, you guys really hate that guy so badly. Then wasn't he like a business partner in New York City that helped out New Yorkers for many decades prior to his election? Come on now, guys. But I don't love Trump, and I definitely don't hate Trump. I kind of fear him in a sense because he had that political power, and I was like, wow, yeah, I'm not gonna go mess with him personally directly. Of course, Obama had power too, but it was questionable because of his birth records and where he was born and stuff like that, thanks to Hillary Clinton, because they wasn't on the same side, Hillary Clinton and Obama. But they were arguing during the 2008 primaries, so it's kind of like, like, you're not helping the situation with your New World Order agenda back then. And back then, that was prevailing. But now you hear it's climate change, and it was eat bugs and same old bullshit. Well, not same bullshit, but different bullshit. It's getting pathetic out there. I mean, you got fucking Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary. She can't get a proper answer to the Senate committee hearing back earlier this year. Something about the stimulus checks, as well as the state of the economy and everything else. She doesn't know a damn thing what's going on half the time. And that's fine. Treasury Secretaries have to rely on the president's, demeanor and, action, so. But Janet Yellen, she was the head or the chairman of the Federal Reserve. And during that time, while she was chairman, not only during that time, her tenure, as well as before that time, she did a lot of shady shit, a lot of shady dealings. And it's getting tiresome after a while. It's like, damn, like, how many politicians do we have to kill? How many politicians do we have to arrest? Hang them from the neck? Call them traitors, which is government, towards our government, because Hillary Clinton personally herself gave secrets to the change when she was Treasury Secretary. Not Treasury Secretary, State Secretary, back in 2009 until 2012. What the fuck? Why would Hillary Clinton give secrets to the Chinese? Knowing that we're kind of like enemies, but then again, we exchange trade on different services. Like we do the service, they make the manufacturing, which just sucks on our end right now as Americans. Because let's face it, we have no actual skills in this country. Yes, there are a select few people out there who did the work to get their welding license, their wielding license, what I call it like that, and do carpentry and construction and things like that. Yes, but it's only for a few, and it's to a point where it's like, gosh, are we that stupid as Americans to give all of our technology, all of our resources to China to make them, powerful enough to make their own, and to ship all that crap, plastic crap, to us as Americans just to buy off at Walmart or Amazon. And to some of those people who are commenting in my comments, whether it's other videos or my videos, yeah, it's to point, guys. I understand if we went to war to China, there's no way we're not going to get no specific items to our supermarkets, to our online sources like Amazon, whatever, Amazon outlets. It's going to be hard, but so we have to make sacrifices somehow to gain our resources back. It's been 40 years since Nixon made that trade with China back in 1970, 1971. And we called it the Nixon shot around that time. He was getting rid of the gold standard. He made trades with China by having dinner with the Chinese prime minister at the time during the Cultural Revolution of sorts at the time. It was the tail end of the Cultural Revolution between the small factions of the People's Republic of China and the Communist Party of China, whatever you want to call it, fucker. That is just fucking with the history. We have to understand that the Communist Party of China are taking over China. There's no such thing as the People's Republic of China anymore. Give me a break. So yeah, guys, I'm just keeping up with what's going on gradually. To those who wants to know, I'm getting tired of the fact that you know, there's nothing, there's no motive to do a certain action because it's not backed up by evidence. For example, you want to know what's on my mind for the last 10 years? I wanted to take Obama out or take him to justice or have a group of guys who come together and do something to the president at the time. Now, it can be black or white, rich or poor, as long as we believe in the cause, we believe in the cause to do it. But I'm considered to be this CIA agent because of the fact that I wanted to start an actual conflict with a leader of this country that was questionable from the start of his identification papers. Like, that type of stuff. It's like, I'm not trying to say that it's all true 100%, but come on, let's fucking question the guy. I mean, the Senate should have done something to Obama back during the 2008 to 2016. What the hell? Why do we have to, us as citizens, do something about the matter in our own hands, considered to be this vigilantes, if we ever did it, if we're supposed to do it, right? People say, oh, we should go after Obama. We should go after him, yeah. Down with the New World Order, yeah. You got Alex Jones saying that, we will destroy you, Obama. Whatever Alex Jones was saying, I'm like, yeah, Alex Jones, you're on radio shows. You don't have nothing to worry about with that matter. Oh. Yeah, it's, taking matters into your own hands can be a good thing, but there's also repercussions of them, man, because you be watched and you be tracked at all times. And I'm an obvious person. I'm over 6'7", not literally over 6'7", about 6'7". I weigh an X amount of weight. I look like a big guy, trying to do what these guys, what they wanted to do at the time was kind of crazy. They don't know, we don't know who we are with each other online. That was crazy to think of right at the time, because I shouldn't trust that many people like that on the internet. But then again, this is the internet, we get to express what we want to say, when we want to say it, how we want to say it. There's repercussions to the matter, yes, but who's really going to go out there to report you to the IRS or to the Department of Homeland Security, which it happened to me 2 times? Let's mention it right now. Back in 2010, I was reported by 2 people. One of them, the first one was a conspiracy theorist prepper, you want to call him? Let's call him Lieutenant Fang. I think I mentioned this before in my previous video or 2. And he reported me to the DHS, which he told me he will. Then there's also my coworker, former coworker. He left almost months later after we exchanged emails. And, he left the company back in, April or May of 2010. And by June of 2010 or May of 2010, I emailed him all the information about the Pastor Manning's CIA trial shit going on. Excuse my language, Mr. Manning. Excuse my language. It's just that it's frustrating. Like all this stuff happening, you expect some sort of grandioso conflict among Americans. Like hate supposed to build up, grabbing weapons, grabbing equipment, form alliances, form allies, form friendships, form everything. Split this country into several parts. Literally, we have Texas government or California government, New York government, but we're all intertwined with each other. We all travel to the same places often, and quite often it's more of a friendly matters, friendly traveling matters, I guess you could say that it was all nothing but whatever's on the internet stays on the internet, right? It's not someone meant to be taken seriously. And now I feel like a fool. And I guarantee you, people in my life, I have to say, people want to not gonna say it to me directly to my face, but there are times where people call me faggot out there in the open, like call me faggot or gay, some shit like that. like oh, I talk too much shit and shit like that. Yeah, I'm like, it's not my fault you guys don't read. So I'm not the total fool here. I may have the last of everything, but I will have the last laugh eventually. Because you know what? Because it's not only been it's only another 25 years from now. I'll be out in the open, or I'll be underground, like Donald Trump buying up property, whatever. Because let's face it, most of New York is it's going to be bought up by the federal government, and the federal is going to be stuck on land that's going to be too expensive to hold, so that sell for cheap, like cents on the dollar, stuff like that. So I'm willing to do that one day. Utilize my money income, somehow, somebody to you know, you never know, right? Anyway, guys, I thank you all for watching. Please thumbs up, subscribe and share, donate to my Patreon, Cash App, or PayPal. Either or, if not, you cannot donate to share my videos. Guys, please speak up. I understand whatever I've been saying for the last 30 minutes almost, that it seems that way. That I talk shit, which I'm not talking shit. This is based on my knowledge. Some of the statements I say can be looked up online through Google. Just Google search what I said for the last 25, 30 minutes. I'll try to post some links in the description box, maybe. I want you guys to figure this out yourselves, because this is tiresome to me. I like to have people on my side that know that I'm self-assured that I'm not some shit talker. I'm only self-assured that I'm not some guy on the internet just speaking bullshit because of the fact that I don't have nothing to prove of the matter. Meaning that whatever I spoke about the politics or history is all nothing but lies, and it's not lies at all. If you read your books at the library, I'm not talking about the internet itself. Don't focus on the internet, YouTube, Twitter for your information all the time. Go to the library and look up a specific book about a specific person or event or change of cinematic history or a call like that, stuff like that. Like, it doesn't have to be cinematic history, but history altogether. It can be about the Civil War. It can be about presidents altogether. And that's why I respected this country. I respect this country as a whole, as the United States of America. If you don't teach any of this stuff to the younger generation or to anyone in this country that comes in here, they're gonna fuck it all up. And they're not gonna respect it properly. And it's a little like a shithole, like Donald Trump will say about that one country. Excuse me, guys, I'd like to respond back with Trump's quote, but that's what's going to happen for the next few years to a few decades, and this continues. Now, I understand that I'm not Mr. Know-It-All, but I know one thing, sir. If you don't know your history about this country that you live in, you're doomed to either repeat it, or you're just going to make it a lot worse for your own self as a lifestyle or life or living situation. Alright, guys. See you later. Bye.